It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is showtime, Geno Jones showtime. So check it out. I'm coming to you live, like I normally do, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. here Eastern Time. So from New York City, Boston, Philly, to D.C., to Hampton, Virginia. Shout out to everybody up there in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm in the Carolinas, repping Charleston, South Carolina, all the way down to the MIA 305 ATL, Georgia, all the way up to Detroit City. 5:30 Chicago Central Time. Houston, stand up. Big shout out to a new recording artist, brother from Houston, my man Jack Freeman. Got us joint new song playing on my radio show called MVP. It is joint. Google my man Jack Freeman. Check him out. He's on social media. He's a bad man. The brother is talented as a performer and songwriter, producer, the whole 9 yards. So big shout out to everybody on Central Time, live in Los Angeles and on the West Coast, 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Hello, shout out to you. I see you out there. Oh, by the way, this show is interactive. So what does that mean? It's interactive. So if you're watching me live, I was in, so we have a bakery here, like a store, and you can get bread, but you can get it at like a cheaper price, which is important now because your boy Orange Hitler done lost his damn mind. So anything you buy from China, after midnight, 104% tax. You can do the math. I'm going to talk about that later. But anyway, so I was in the bakery, and the sister said, Geno, I like what you said on your TV show. I said, I appreciate you. So listen, if you're watching me live right now, the show is interactive. I have a chat room open. You can jump in there. You can say hi. You got a question. Say, hey, I like what you're doing. I like what you're saying. You know, give knowledge to the people and entertaining us and informing us and trying to enlighten and inspire and empower. That's what we do here on the Geno Jones Show. Or if you want, listen, you want to have a conversation. Sometimes some folks want to argue with me. Now, that ain't going to end well for you, but feel free. Jump in that chat room, say what you got to say, and I'll shout you out on camera. Maybe it's your birthday or at the barbershop, wherever. You know, it could be a whatever, anniversary. You know, I got people watch me at work. Sometimes they say, Geno, I'm watching you on my phone, on my tablet. I got my little earbuds in so my boss won't know that I'm listening to you because they couldn't handle what you be saying, man. Because you be speaking the truth, brother. But, man, my boss, they would be tripping because you talk about them. You know, they voted for old boy, and now they upset. Which reminds me, but let me tell everybody once again, to please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, screen grab, rip some of the video, chop it up, make it go viral. Please like, click on the thumbs up, like this and every episode, binge watch all my back episodes, and the little comment section below, please, or as James Brown would say, please, 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 please. Leave your comments in my comment section, right? All right, so I'm going to get back to the MAGA remorse. You know, you heard a term called buyer's remorse. Well, I voted for Trump, but I didn't vote for this. Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. And I'm going to tell you about it because you thought you was voting. Really, you thought you was voting against something. I get it. But you're saying, well, I didn't vote for this. Oh, yeah, you did. And unfortunately, it's just getting started. But we can stop it. But I digress. I want to go back. So yesterday, I didn't get a chance to tell you a story about my man. Shout out to Ronald Isley, a.k.a. Mr. Big himself, who's been a guest on the show, probably about 2.5 years ago. I got to get Mr. Big back on the show. It was a great conversation with Ronald and Ernie Isley. And Ron and Ernie is so cool, but Ronald Isley is Ronald Isley. They don't call him Mr. Big for nothing. He is just a dude. So I saw there was a video out. So apparently, Mr. Big did a show. I don't know what city, and he was singing one of the all-time baby-making songs, probably millions of babies. As a matter of fact, 1983, so that would make you 42. So them babies probably got babies. Them Isley brother babies got Isley brother babies. So you got Isley brother babies and Isley brother grandbabies. But anyway, 1983, man, they had a song that the album, I remember, I can see the album cover. You had these like kind of reddish pink satin sheets, and the album cover and the album title was Between the Sheets. But one of the songs on that album was Choosy Lover, you're so choosy. Da 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 da. I forgot the lyrics right there, but you can fill it in. Da 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 da. Choosy lover, ooh, so choosy. Okay, all right, your ass can't sing either, so hush. So anyway, so Ronald Isley was singing Choosy Lover. And so, you know, there's a line in the song that says, you know, I thought I had a lover, but I was kidding myself, baby. I thought I had a lover. Found out. And then the part goes, she was sleeping with someone else. Well, we found out who that someone else is. As a matter of fact, I saw it on Instagram. Mr. Big said, she was sleeping. I found out my woman. She was sleeping with Bobby Womack. Bobby Womack, home wrecker. Now, I'm not surprised. Bobby Womack's got a reputation. Bobby Womack, whose mentor was Sam Cooke, the legendary, if you don't know who Sam Cooke is, Google Sam Cooke. Like, Sam Cooke was Marvin Gaye. Sam Cooke was Teddy Pendergrass. He was Maxwell before all of them. Sam Cooke from Chicago. He sang gospel, and just Sam Cooke was the man. Died suspicious murder. But I digress. That's a whole nother show. Folks said he was killed because Sam Cooke had like his own record label, and he was distributing his own music, and like the mob allegedly was pissed off that Sam Cooke wouldn't let them get, you know, basically they wanted to represent him. Really, they wanted to own him and have Sam Cooke pay them. Sam Cooke was like, I don't need y'all. So Sam Cooke allegedly was killed by some woman in some hotel, I think out in Los Angeles. But that's not the story. So go back. So Ronald Isley in Choosy Lover, the line, like I said, she was sleeping with someone else. But he said she was sleeping with Bobby Womack. So what does Sam Cooke have to do with Bobby Womack? Sam Cooke was Bobby Womack's mentor. Now, when after Sam Cooke was murdered, Bobby Womack started sleeping with Sam Cooke's woman, or his wife, his widow. And then it got worse. So I think her name was Barbara. And then allegedly Bobby Womack went from sleeping with Sam Cooke's widow to Sam Cooke's daughter. I think her name was Linda. I'm like, damn, pimpin'. This is the dude that put you on. He was your mentor. And the body wasn't even cold yet. And you sleeping with his wife? Now, some could say, well, you know, both of them was kind of scandalous because Bobby Womack, it was consensual, obviously. So, yeah, Bobby Womack didn't put a gun to her head and make her give him some. But then it was just low. It's one thing, Bobby Womack, you slept with Sam Cooke's wife, his widow, and then you started sleeping with his daughter. I'd have came back from the grave and choked the shit out of it. I'd have been like, you son of a... I wouldn't have got mad about him sleeping with my wife, my widow, but I'd have got his ass sleep with my daughter. I'd have shook the life out of his ass. Talking about if you think you're lonely now, wait until. So Bobby Womack had a song. He remade this classic song. If you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight. If you think your ass is in trouble, wait until I see your ass. That would have been a whole new song. Wow. So thank you, Mr. Big. So here's the funny part. I saw a real funny meme. You know, so a lot of times you'll see these pictures, they call them memes. So it'll be a picture. And the picture, because you know they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. So sometimes you can get a meme and the picture will basically tell the story. It'll say everything. So somebody found like an old picture of Bobby Womack without glasses. Because, you know, like in the 70s, I never saw Bobby Womack without glasses. I remember him in the 70s and, you know, he, hairy hippie, he did a lot of songs. But I always saw Bobby Womack with these big, thick, big glasses on, big frames, big wide. It was like Elton John's glasses before Elton John without the diamonds. But so he found an old picture. Bobby Womack had this little short, kind of medium-sized afro and no glasses on. And somebody sent a picture and said, if you get this meme, it means watch your dude around your woman. So basically, that's like a warning. If I send you a meme or a picture of Bobby Womack, keep an eye on your boy, because your boy, he gonna be after your woman. Maybe your woman and your daughter. So shout out to Ronald Isley doing it. Still in his 80s, because Ron has got to be, I think Ronald Isley gonna be like 80, at least 84 this year, because he's a May baby too. I think he's gonna be 84. As a matter of fact, because my birthday's on the 20th, I think his is what? I think Mr. Big is the 21st. Is it the 21st? I think. Right around there, May 21st, if I'm correct. So, but I think he's gonna be, I think 85, at least 84. But I think this year, I think Mr. Big will be 85 and still doing his thing, man. Man, cover, the Lord, cover my man Ronald Isley. We've lost too many of the icons, and he is still doing his thing, and he is still as cool as central air conditioning. Straight up cool as central air. My man, Ronald Isley. Sam Cooke. Trifling, scandalous, nasty. You nasty. I see. Shout out to. So my mom started a conversation in the chat room. Hey mother. She's my executive producer, my #1 fan. So you can join the conversation, or you even start another conversation in my chat room. Like I said, the show is interactive. So if you're watching, let me know who else is, because I see other people are watching. I can look at so I have like a little meter, and then I can see like how many views. So I know you guys out there. So don't be afraid. Don't be scared. I ain't gonna bite you. Let me know who's watching. And maybe I know, maybe you're not supposed to be watching. Your boss ain't gonna know. Because look, if your boss is watching me, he can't or she can't trip about you watching me. Because you're like, well, look, you watching. How you know I was watching Geno? Who told you? You must have been listening to him too. Because, you know, he be giving us knowledge, you know, telling us stuff we need to know or need to hear. So, now, so there's a second story that I didn't get a chance to tell you about yesterday. You may have saw the story. You may have saw this video. I saw these videos. So I'm up on Instagram, on IG. So Terrance Howard sat down with somebody. It was on their podcast or whatever. And then the dude asked him about Diddy. Sean, Puffy, P. Diddy, my ass still ain't got out of jail Combs. And asked him about, well, you know, you were in Hollywood and you know about these Hollywood parties. Did Diddy ever invite you to a Hollywood party? Man, Terrance Howard, who actually, even though he's raised in Cleveland, Terrance Howard is actually from Chicago. But he eventually moved to Cleveland because he really, I never heard him claim Chicago. But I read stories that he's from Cleveland. I think his teenage years, his family must have moved to Cleveland. But I saw he was actually born in Chicago. So that south side of Chicago came out, or maybe east side of Cleveland, but he got more of a, Terrence Howard definitely has a Chicago vibe, got a south side. Actually, he could have a west side of Chicago vibe. I could see Terrence Howard being from the west side actually. No shade to the west side, but he could do both. I wouldn't be surprised. He's still got a south side of Chicago vibe, but he got a west side of Chicago vibe too. But it was both. He was all sides of Chicago. On this podcast, it was talking about, so apparently Diddy had reached out to Terrence Howard and said, he told Terrence that he wanted, or I think he saw him. He saw him out and he said he wanted Terrence to come by his house and teach him how to act, give him acting lessons. So Terrence, like, he ain't tripping, he ain't thinking nothing about it. He's like, okay. He said, so I go by there and like I'm trying to, teach the dude how to act and giving him lessons and talking. And he said, Diddy just staring at him, just looking at him, ain't saying nothing, just looking at him. Like he was staring at a naked Playboy model or like a stripper at Magic City in Atlanta. Like, okay, that last little part I just kind of ad-lib, but it did. But the look on Terrance's face, he was like, man, so, Diddy, he just staring at me. He's not saying anything. He's just staring at me. So Terrance was like, all right. So a little later, I don't know, weeks, months later, Diddy, okay, here he comes again. He's like, all right, I want you, I know you know how to sing, and you write songs. So I want you to, work on some songs. I want you to come over and we work on some music. All right, so Terrance is like, okay. I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. Bet I go home. He said, I went over there. Diddy, he didn't say anything. He just looked at me. He's looking at me. He's staring at me. He's undressing me with his eyes. His tongue is hanging out of his, okay. I had it, the tongue. He didn't say his tongue was hanging out of it. He drooling. He grabbing his genital area. He like, woo, you, okay. All right, Terrance didn't say that. But Terrance did say that, so he's just looking at me and not saying anything. So Terrance is like, all right, I'm out. Here we go. So Terrance's assistant, this is after that, a third time, says, Diddy called, and he wants to hang out with you. Well, Terrance said, well, he said he wanted acting lessons. He said he wanted me to write some songs and work on some music. And when I went over there, he just stared at me. So Terrance said, what do you think he wants? And according to Terrence Howard, his assistant says, I think he want to F you. The F that rhymes with duck. Just take off the D and put the F on. I think he wants to you. It was obvious, but then it all, and then so Terrance, because Terrence Howard was basically talking about losing your man card, and like a lot of guys in Hollywood, they go out to Hollywood and they compromise their manhood. They do things that they normally wouldn't do, and they wind up regretting it, and then they get depressed and they're mad at themselves because they run into somebody like Diddy, a dude that either forces them to have sex or coerces them to have sex when they normally wouldn't have sex with a man. Look, I'm not getting into that debate, but Terrance says a lot of these guys, they compromise their values because they want to be famous, they want the stardom, they want to, as they say, get put on, and you get put. Diddy he'll put you on, all right. he'll put himself on you. And he just talking about how that's such a problem, and it's led to a lot of guys, in Hollywood having issues with drug and alcohol, depression, because they can't live with themselves. They're going to see therapists because they compromise their manhood for a taste of fame, for a piece of fame. They wind up getting a piece of what they necessarily wouldn't have gotten normally. But that's out on social media. But you got to see the way Terrance Howard says it, and he got a hoodie on. Terrance Howard's got like this, look like a white cream color hoodie, and then he got a hat on. But he got the hat is cold-blooded now. He got the hat on top of the hoodie, and Terrance Howard is, Terrance is, cool brother. He got the little hazel eyes. He, like I said, he got definitely the south side of Chicago, west side of Chicago. He got that Chicago swag. He's like, yeah, you compromise your manhood. So, look, I lived in L.A. I never had that problem. I lived in L.A. and I used to go out to L.A. all the time. I was out was doing radio, but I was in the whole entertainment game because the actors and comedians and all the singers, would come by the station. So a lot of them, maybe what they did, maybe that was in them all along, and they didn't want to kind of face it with their own. I ain't a therapist. I'm not a therapist, but there's no fame. There's nothing I want that bad. I'm just going to do something that doesn't fit who I am. You do you. Now, just as they say, be authentic. If you like dudes, at least, what's his name? Wayne Brady. He's a pansexual. So, pansexual, like he like to have sex with pans? No, apparently pansexual is that you love anything and anyone. Men, women, it doesn't matter, So he's not even, I don't know, almost, is it, because I saw he was talking about it. And I guess this term fluid, he could like a dude tonight and then he see a fine woman or because is Wayne Brady? I think he's got kids and he was married. I think he said he discovered he was this pansexual that, he loved people. I'm paraphrasing. But, dude, do you. Or let whoever do you. If you like it, I love it for you. As my mother, who's watching me right now, she said, Jeannie, you ain't got a heaven or hell to put nobody in. That's true. None of us do. Ain't none of us got a heaven or hell to put nobody in. So just be true to yourself. Don't front, as they say, don't front. Just, don't worry about, because people going to say whatever they're going to say anyway. And somebody's always going to have something to say, and everybody's not going to like you. They're not. No matter, I don't care how good you are, you could be the most morally outstanding person, the most generous person. You could just give literally the shirt off your back every day. You could give away, you could be worth billions to give away all your money, and somebody would still complain about it. Somebody would not be happy. So if you live your life to make other people happy, you're going to have a miserable life. So you better be true to yourself and the people that love you the most. People that as my grandfather said, don't be there when I want you, be there when I need you. And that's a big difference. It's a lot of folks, when things are going well, you on top, everybody is around hanging out, we good, let's pop these bottles. But what happens when I need you? And I'm in the alley, in the gutter, in the alley, head bleeding. I only got a half a bar. I got enough power on my cell phone to make one phone call before, it just powers down. Who can I call? 3, 4 in the morning. And I know they'll be there. Don't be there when I want you. Be there when I need you. How many people in your life can you say right now, no matter what, if you find yourself in a situation, like I said, head busted or just, lying in the alley, whatever it is, and you only had enough, you had enough, your cell phone had enough juice for just one phone call. Who could you call that that would be there when you needed them? 3, 4 in the morning, whenever, whatever. So that's what I focus on. People don't owe you anything. My grandfather taught me, he said, Jeannie, people don't owe you anything. And I now understand why he was telling me that he was teaching, because I'm an empath. I have empathy for just humans in general. I would even a stranger, somebody who I may not even rock with, even the MAGA cult. If I saw them laying out in the street bleeding, I would help them, even if they had a MAGA hat on. Now I might pause for maybe for about 20, 30 seconds. I'm like, yo ass, see, karma got your ass. But my nature is to help somebody. If I saw somebody that needed help, my instincts would kick in and I would help them, period, full stop. Because it's a human, and that's just in me. I was raised that way, but that's just my DNA. If I don't like somebody, I don't mess with them, because I don't F with you. If I don't like you, I don't F with you. I'm not gonna try to harm you. I'm just going about my business. But now, if you try to harm me or my family, really my family, because sometimes, depending on the day you catch me, my tolerance for people, bothering me is higher than it is with my family. Like Damaris and Allie and Boogie and my mother and like my sister, or my nieces. But now my family, you'll get it instantly, quicker than a light switch. Oh yeah, you'll see the Robert McCall from the movie The Equalizer, Denzel's character. You'll get that Robert McCall ass whooping instantly about my family. Especially about my girls and Damaris and my mother and my sisters. You'll get it instantaneously. And it won't be a conversation. It ain't going to be cussing you out like, oh, you. As a matter of fact, I'm not saying it. You will hear a word. Before you know it, it'll just be too late. You see how Robert McCall operating the Equalizer. He don't do a whole lot of talking. He'll do very little talking, and he'll look at that watch, and he'll set it for 30 seconds, and he'll count it down, and it's a wrap. That's how quick it'll go down. That's me about my family. Oh yeah, instantly. But with me, I might give you a little grace. I might give you, because I know me. I'll give you a warning, unless you put your hand on me. Then that's instantly. But I'll give you a warning with me. You get no warning when it comes to my family. So I digress. All right, who else is in the chat room? Hey, Rosalind, how are you? Thank you for letting me know you're watching, and I know we got some other folks watching too. Before I sign off, please jump in my chat room and let me know who's watching. I want to shout you out. I want to thank you for watching. I got to reach out to my man, brother, Dr. Al Greer. We went to college together, Columbia College, Chicago. Shout out, stand up. I got to reach out to Brother Greer. Man, Brother Al, Dr. Greer, if you're watching me, man, I'm going to I know we follow each other on Facebook. I'm going to try to reach you because I want to get you on the show. I appreciate you watching me, man. Thank you so much. So, in case you hadn't heard, for all these MAGA cult members, you racists, white nationalists, misogynists, and sexists, your orange Lord and Savior, y'all's Jesus Christ, and some of y'all say, that's my Lord and Savior, Jesus. Donald Trump is my Jesus Christ. Woo! Man, a cult is really dangerous. But you know what? One of the quickest ways is to snap somebody out of a cult. Not all folks, even some folks, you can take all their money. But you want to, it's like somebody that's like high of drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, start losing money. When you start taking somebody or digging in their pockets, people tend to sober up pretty quick. Those even in a cult, you start digging in them pockets, and it's amazing how that's, not in all cases, but yeah, you can snap some folks out of that trance quick when they money start to disappear. They're like, hey, oh, whoa, whoa. They're like, I didn't vote for this. So I'm hearing a lot of that, a lot of it, from some of these, racist ass, sexist ass, misogynist podcasters that was just, I would walk on glass. I would walk on glass for Donald Trump. But I didn't vote for this. My investments, my stock portfolio, my 401k plan, I lost $7 million. Stock market has lost over 10 trillion, not million, not billion, trillion, over $10 trillion in value with a T. That is you, that's me, that's anybody that's got any kind of 401k plan, a Roth IRA, self-managing mutual fund. You got pension funds through your job or whatever, and they're invested in the stock market. So if you got any money, you got less, a lot less than you had before January 20th. And now with these tariffs, hello, China. At midnight tonight, I think China may be about 12 hours ahead at least. So 104% tax. That's on you, that's on me. So if you are planning to buy an iPhone, or if you're looking to get a flat screen TV, or if you go to Walmart a lot, or if you buying a baseball cap, because virtually everything in Walmart is China, or all them Nike shoes, them Air Jordans. They all made in China, like them iPhones, them flat screen TVs, all that stuff. The cheaper stuff you could go get it out of Walmart and all them places like that. Even though we're about to do this boycott with Walmart too, because it's having an effect on Target. Their stock prices have dropped, but oh boy, 104% tax. A tariff is a tax. I've been telling you that. I've taught you that. And I've been saying it and telling you over and over and other people, a tariff is a tax. All right? So this tariff that Orange Hitler, is put on, like, he's even put tariffs on countries that don't even have people. He's put tariffs on countries that only have, like, animals. Literally. There's some islands way out in the Pacific Ocean that don't even have humans on it. Islands I never heard of. All they got is animals. And he got tariffs on the islands, tariffs on the animals. That's your boy. That's your boy. You voted for him because you didn't want to vote for the black woman because of your racism or your sexism or your misogyny. And I've been telling you, teaching you that race, this whole made-up construct, which is is really a con game. A construct is a system that was built by man. It's really a con game. Race was created to divide people. And misogyny and sexism, it's just the wealthiest people, the billionaires, who were, they didn't call them billionaires back in the late 1600s when this whole thing called race was created, this construct, this system by Europeans, because Europeans never called themselves white until they created this whiteness to pit the peasants, the poor white folks in Europe, that the wealthy white folks that didn't give a shit about, didn't like, and talked down at them. They had to figure out a way, how can we trick these dumbasses and not make them, we don't want them to wise up and realize that we never want them to be a part of our class of wealthy Europeans. So let's create something So they can get pissed off at these dark people, people with dark skin. Yeah, let's call it race and pit them against each other. In the meantime, we can dig in their pockets, all of them's pockets, and just, foment hatred, which comes out in the form of bigotry, racism, anti-Semitism, anti-Muslim hate, anti-Asian hate. Just, you pit people, and it's hate, bigotry, and fear, and sexism and misogyny has always been big business. It's always been a small handful of people that have gotten rich off of spreading and fanning and perpetrating and lying and misforming and miseducating and or not educating people so they could fear each other and hate each other. And they get rich off of the fear and bigotry that we have toward each other. And it works every time. It's like catnip. It's like giving a crackhead a fresh new rock. They just take that hit, boom. Oh, racism. So we couldn't vote for the woman. And then the Negro woman, the N-word, the Negra. Come on, man. And then you had some folks, for the black Americans stood up, 92% of black women, 80% of black men. So 8 out of 10 black men understood the assignment. Hispanic men, y'all was voting for Orange Hitler about 60%. Like 6 out of 10 of you all voted for your own not even deportation. They are straight up kidnapping, abducting Venezuelans that are citizens, putting them on planes, taking them to this notorious prison in El Salvador. But now, beware, be cautious to my brothers and sisters of all races, especially as black folks. Okay? Be very cautious. Because what they do to these Venezuelans, don't think that they won't try to do it to us. Because they don't want us here either. So the Venezuelans, that's the test run. But they'll come. But even for you poor and working class white people, if you don't kiss his ass, if you don't kiss the ring, if you don't bow down to the MAGA cult, they would eventually come for you too. Don't think your whiteness will protect you, because it will not. Because this dude don't give a shit about nobody. And he's just using his whiteness so he could maintain power and steal and make his billionaire buddies rich. I will just close by saying this. I want you to think about this. Put on your critical thinking cap. Once again, Orange Hitler, he has tanked the stock market. Even CEOs are just saying, yo, dude, hold on. Dude, I gave you millions of dollars. I voted for your ass and gave your campaign millions of dollars, but you messing with my money now. He will be his own demise. Donald Trump, he will not finish this term. I guarantee. I would almost guarantee it. I'm that confident in my spirit. In my spirit, I can feel it. I can even see it. Because if you know anything, read a history book. People who are that evil and that narcissistic, that level of narcissism and greed and ego, it's a toxic mixing when you put it together. People like that are always at the end. You can just look at what happened with Hitler. These dictators, Mussolini, Napoleon, they are all at the end. They are their own worst enemy because they always overshoot the runway. They just keep going. They land the plane, they get it on the ground, it's on the runway. They're not satisfied. They just keep going, and they overshoot the runway. They go too far, and he's gonna go too far. But I just want you to think about this. Think about what happened. The marketing crashed like this, but a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of businesses, when COVID really hit hard. March started in March of 2020. Oh, by that fall, really that first 9 months, it was, oh my God, people were just dying. 4,000 or 5,000 people a day, more. And I don't even know what the number was. At the height of COVID here in America, you probably had maybe close to maybe 10,000 people a day. Somewhere in the thousands. Every day people were dying in the thousands at the peak of COVID. Many businesses, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, some businesses that had been around for 100 years, they went out of business. But a small handful of people got even wealthier. Folks like Jeff Bezos, Amazon stock, Amazon made more money. They didn't even, Jeff Bezos was like, oh damn, shit, I hope this virus keep going. Amazon made a killing. There were some businesses, not many, but a handful, that made out, that saw that their wealth just skyrocketed at the expense of all of our pain and misery and fear and anxiety and economic hardship. They got super wealthy off the pandemic. So now we got a man-made crisis. All these companies losing value, over $10 trillion in value, real money. People invested in the stock market, so that means over $10 trillion gone. Kiss it goodbye, out the door. Now you got, starting at midnight, you got basically 104% tax that's going on anything that you buy coming from China. And I promise you, you're going to see that 104% tax real soon. You're talking about iPhones. To get an iPhone, it could be anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000. Ain't going to be a whole bunch of iPhones sold. Going to be some bootleg knockoffs or whatever. Anything you buy from China, just add 104% tax. So you're going to double anything, whatever price you were paying for that iPhone or that flat screen TV or those Air Jordans or any of those Nike shoes or anything made in China, you can just double that at least. Because China said, well, we right back at you. We gonna put, they're putting the same kind of tariffs on America. It's gonna make it even worse. But I say all that to say, this is what I want you to pay attention to. So if the stock market really tanks, maybe loses 20% of its value, that's like a crisis, that's a recession. Experts on Wall Street are predicting a recession. God forbid. Almost 100 years ago, 1929, it's 2025. The Great Depression. Stock market crashed. People was jumping out of windows because they lost all their money. But some people made money. Small handful of people. Some of those wealthy people didn't, they were okay, the Rockefellers, I'm just naming, but people in that class, the Carnegie Mellons and the Vanderbilts and the richest of the rich. Somehow some of them actually made money when the stock market crashed. So, because there's a theory that, if the stock market really tanks and crashes and a lot of companies are forced to go out of business because their companies have lost so much value or they can't afford because of the tariffs, they can't afford to stay in business, especially a lot of small companies, medium-sized companies. These billionaires are like vultures, like, yeah, go on, Donald, go on the golf course down there in Mar-a-Lago or golfing with the Saudis. Go on and tank create a global Great Depression. Us billionaires and all these small businesses go out of business. Some of these big companies will go out of business. In the meantime, these billionaire vultures are like, now we can come in and then we can buy up all the small businesses. Some of these other medium-sized or maybe even large businesses that can't keep up. And we can get them for real cheap, and then we can really own everything. And that's basically like you hear the term oligarchy. I'm just saying, somebody's pain can be somebody else's gain. Because there's no other explanation for why is this dude intentionally tanking, and it's affecting the global market. So these other countries like, all right, you know what? We got you. We ain't got to necessarily mess with you. We got, we can form alliances and be like F America. And that's really a horrible place for us to be, especially as Americans, because we suffer financially. It's just not it's not, from a national security standpoint, it's stupid and it's not smart or safe. But just something I want you to think about. Your man probably got a reason for doing this. And he's dogmatic. But he told you that, he was going to reduce the price of everything. The price of eggs on day one. On day one, I'm going to make everything, I'm going to reduce the price of everything. And the exact opposite happened. From day one, price of eggs kept going up, but it was never about the price of eggs. It was about the racism and the misogyny and the sexism. That was the jet fuel. That was the engine. That was that Red Bull energy drink that drove millions of people to vote against their own financial interests, their own personal interests, best interests, when it came to their own health care, to their family's health care, to their parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles' Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, to their own children's health needs, who are on Medicaid and who get money from Head Start and Meals on Wheels, their parents or grandparents that get meals, that get fed or that supplements their food, so at the end of the month, by the 20th, they're not starving because they're out of money from that little money they get once a month from Social Security, and then talking about getting rid of that. All right, I'm just telling you. Just think. Let me get out of here. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. Shout out to everybody. Hey, Rosalind, once again, thank you, Rosalind Anderson, and everybody else watching. You still got about a minute or two before I sign off. So jump in that chat room. I want to shout everybody out, and I really appreciate you watching me live. Monday through Friday, the Geno Jones Show is here. Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when I start. 5:30 p.m. Central Time. 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, live in Los Angeles and everybody on the West Coast. Once again, please tell everybody you know to subscribe to my channel. I'm getting very close to becoming a YouTube partner. Yeah, baby. I'm about 240 new subscribers away from my media company getting that monthly check from YouTube. It is so important that we gotta support Black-owned media. We have to support our own media. Because corporate media is not gonna tell you what I'm telling you. They're not gonna say these things. And Black-owned media platforms like mine, Roland Martin's Black Star Network, all the folks on YouTube has got platforms like my man Don Lemon, Rick Party. Shout out to all the Urban View on Sirius XM folks from Karen Hunter, my man Clay Kane, let's see, Dr. Greg Carr was my man Lamont's on with Dr. Carr on Urban View channel. That's 126. They don't like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's Sister Laree Daniel, I think it's Daniel Favors. So shout out to Laree and just everybody. We gotta support our Black-owned media. We are all we got. But the truth is, we're all we need. We are all we got, but we are all we need when we come together. And everybody's not gonna get it. Everybody's not gonna understand the assignment. Can't trust everybody, because some of, a handful of, we got some folks that'll sabotage us. There's a small handful, relatively speaking, but this is black folks in the MAGA cult. They are in the minority, small minority, but they would be snakes in the grass. So it's like, look, we're here for the culture and the community. But everybody, they say all skin folk ain't kin folk. Because some folks already chose to check over the culture. But I've called them out. Stephen A. Smith, Snoop Dogg, Nelly, you know who you are. So, please, it is so important. Tell everybody you know to subscribe to my channel. That supports a media company will very soon become not a media partner, but my company will. My media company will start to get a check from YouTube every month. All right. So, by the way, I would love for you to be a sponsor of the show. If you'd like to advertise, I would be honored to have you as a sponsor. Just email me. That's how you spell Geno. So my email address is Geno Jones Show. No just Geno Jones Show, like you see without the. All one word. Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Reach out to me, and I'll get you a sponsorship package. I'll set up a meeting over the phone, or we can do Zoom or whatever it is, and I'd be honored to have you come on, tell your story, tell the story about your business, because once a week I try to do a spotlight on Black-owned businesses and spotlight a Black-owned business and let the business owners come on the show, tell their story, their personal story, and the story about their business and the journey and the lessons that they learned, and just tips to share with other people so they can pursue their dreams, being an entrepreneur, a business owner. So I'd love to have you as a sponsor. Or if you love the show, if you believe in what I'm doing, if you think voices like mine are important, because they are, and our own home Black-owned media platforms are so important, because we're not going to fire ourselves. You can support me. You can support my show. You can make a financial contribution or love offering or whatever you want to call it. You just want to contribute to the show and contribute to the success by financially supporting the message and the mission. So you can Zelle me money. You can Zelle it directly to my company. I have a Zelle account or Zelle attached to my media company and Cash App. So you can Zelle me, Geno Jones. That's how you spell Geno Jones. And then type in the number 843. You type in the phone number, type in 843. It'll take you to my Zelle account, Geno Jones. You can Cash App me. My Cash App address is $Dad G Jones. So that's $, capital D, lowercase a D, capital G, capital J, lowercase ONES. $Dad G Jones. Thank you. Shout out to Boogie, who set up my Cash App account a long time ago. That's where the Dad G Jones came from. And I love it. And because my boogie, my firstborn, set it up for me, I'm never changing it. So cash at me. No amount is too small, no amount is too big. But I would love to have you as a sponsor. But spread the word, give everybody that my Zelle address, my Cash App address, because your financial contribution is crucial to the show. It is crucial to the growth of the show. It is crucial to the growth of my media company. Eventually, I do want to employ. I love to employ. My goal is to be able to hire, at least start off with a small team, look at some young brothers and sisters coming out of college. You know, I wouldn't rule anybody. Anybody that's qualified, if they understand the mission of the show and the purpose. The show is targeted toward the culture in our community. But I speak to humanity. But I tell the show, we're not anti-anybody, because we're about the truth. As my grandmother said, tell the truth, shame the devil. But the show is unapologetically pro-black, because America has and is still unapologetically anti-black, and has been for 249 years. So I make no apologies to be pro-black. Because when black Americans do well, everybody else does great. And we're not anti-anybody. But America has shown us, or as my mother used to have, she has a saying, she said, oh, you just gonna give me your ass to kiss. So America has really given black America, they've always have really kind of done it. But now it's just like, oh yeah, y'all thought just because Barack Obama was president twice? Oh, no, just because you had Kamala Harris as a vice president? Oh no. America really just said, no, here's our ass to kiss. We put this orange dude back in the White House. We don't give a shit about poor and working class, MAGA cult hat wearing, flag flying folks. And now you find it out, because that 104% tax on everything that you buy from China, the MAGA hats that you wearing, that MAGA flag that you flying in your garage or on your car, look at the tag and see where that cap was made in, or them flags, made in China. Take a look. Take the hat off and look at the tag. It'll tell you where it was made. Dumbass. But that's your Lord and Savior. Okay. I didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. See, you thought you were voting against the black folks and the DEI, and voting against the women, because you women are just getting too big for your britches, and you don't know when to shut up, and you're just uppity and just always got something to say and won't listen to me. You won't just stay in your place, shut up and sit down, and just let me just always take the lead. A lot of men, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. A lot of you all are not you're not worthy of being a leader. Your gender and your genitalia, that ain't the qualification to be a leader. Do you have the character, the morality, the morals, the integrity, the honesty, and the intelligence to be a leader? All that makes a leader. Having a dick between your legs, I'm sorry if I said it and I meant it. Having a dick between your legs don't make you a leader. Please. Not at all. Dumbass, clueless dudes walking around with something between their legs. That has nothing to do with being a leader. So stop with the foolishness. And for my young brothers, I hope you clip and save this, because they need to hear that. Having something dangling between your legs don't make you a leader. Leadership is about character and, having a sense of morality and compassion and humanity. Being a leader means that the people who you lead, you put first. That you listen to those people who you are leading because they can make you a better leader. You can learn from them. Great leaders understand they don't know everything. As a matter of fact, great leaders surround themselves with people who are smarter than they are or have more experience than they do in certain areas. So they can learn more, so they can grow their knowledge base. They can become wiser and a better leader. A leader is not about me first. In the military, leaders are trained. Like if you are leading a group of men and or women and it's time to eat, the people who you lead, they eat first. And you don't eat until the people who you lead eat. If there's danger, the leader goes first. A real leader doesn't send the people that they lead, well, y'all go ahead. It look kind of dangerous. Y'all go ahead and I'll follow. No, the leader is in the front. If there's any danger that the people who you lead, if there's any chance that they could encounter any danger, a leader is going to stand in front of that danger first. And before you get to the people I lead, you got to go through me. That's what a leader is. And it has nothing to do with your gender. So I don't care what these bros telling you, because a lot of them with their little punk ass, insecure ass, wonder why they can't get a woman. That's why, because they don't understand what being a leader is. You have to earn leadership. You don't lead. You can talk all you want to. Don't tell me how great a leader you are. Show me by your actions and your behavior. Because your actions and your behavior will speak louder than anything that your mouth could ever say. You can't scream loud enough to drown out the actions and the behavior of a true leader. That is going to shine through. You can yell and scream and talk all the shit you want to, and it's just noise. Because a true leader leads not necessarily by what they say. That's the least part of it. The most important thing about leadership is your character and your actions and your behavior and what you do. That's the most important thing. What you say, that's the last part. That brings up the rear. All right. Let me get out of here. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you and especially you. Live Monday through Friday. Check me out right here. Shout out to City Vibes Bar and Lounge, sponsor of the Geno Jones Show. Big shout out to Corey and Kenya Williams. They're open 7 nights a week. 9730 Dorchester Road, the ultimate adult night spot. Check it out. Karaoke Wednesday and Thursday. Some of the hottest DJs in the Carolinas. Friday and Saturday. All day Sunday brunch. City Vibes, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Shout out to the Crate Group, CRATE, thecrategroup.org, one of the top nonprofits in America. Shout out to the CEO, Kendrick Bannister. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Yes, she is the consultant that keeps the brother right. Check out Allie Jones, her Lexi Jones collection on Instagram on IGLX.NCL_. LX.NCL_. Also, shout out to Bruce Gage, wardrobe consultant for the show. Check out his Mario Uomo collection, MARIOUOMO. Uomo. Uomo is UOMO on Instagram or Bruce Gage on Facebook. Mark Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina Metro. Check out Markel and Designer Cuts. Check them out on Instagram, on IG. Kel be cutting up, KELBECUTTINUP. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you to Mary Dixon, my mother, everybody else watching me live. Please, don't forget, please leave your comments. If you just came recently, if you joined the show late, it doesn't matter, or if you were here at the beginning, leave your comments in my comment section for me. That's important. YouTube looks at all that, so it's so important. Leave your comments for this and every episode in my comment section below. Please, and when you watch me live, the show is interactive, so join the conversation. You can start a conversation in my chat room. Let me know you're watching so I can shout you out, and I will see you live. The next live show, big shout out to my man Jack Freeman. Check out his single, MVP. He's going to be a guest on the show, new R&B artist. I had a chance to interview him for my radio show. We had a great conversation, a lot of fun too. So we'll have that conversation. He's currently out on tour with Jagged Edge. So big shout out to Jack Freeman. The MVP is his joint. You got to check that out. When the video is released, you'll see it right here. You get to meet Jack Freeman. He will be a guest here on the Geno Jones Show. We'll see you live Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Chicago, everybody, Central Time, 5:30, live in Los Angeles and on the West Coast, 3:30 p.m. Wednesday afternoon. I love you. Go binge watch this or all of my back episodes.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.